CEO Opperman says the economy and agricultural sector cannot afford Eskom's proposed tariff increase. He said most operations on the farms require use of electricity. Opperman says the drought in the country has had a significant effect on the farming community, and adding more expensive electricity will only make things worse. The South African National Energy Regulator is getting feedback on the power utilities application for a 17% tariff increase from April. Eskom wants this increase to recoup almost 23 billion rand. The power utility says it will be forced to borrow more money if the energy regulator does not increase electricity tariffs. Public hearings on Eskom's application for a proposed 8.6% increase in tariffs moved to Port Elizabeth tomorrow. The hearing started yesterday and will wrap up in Johannesburg on the 5th of February. And now to hear more about the developments around the tariff hearings, we are joined on the line by reporter Mariska Botha, who is in Cape Town. Mariska, a very good afternoon to you. Now, Agri Western Cape has made its representations. Please take us through some of the main points very quickly.
Yes, of course. Agri Western Cape very concerned about another proposed increase. They admitted that Eskom is a major partner in agriculture and especially food security. But they say the drought, coupled with escalating input costs because of the dropping in the value of rand, could prove very, very difficult if NERSA approves this increase by Eskom. They say it will become more difficult and more expensive to run productivity on the farms, which could prove very difficult for some farmers and might even put some farmers out of business. So for them, the situation is very dire, and they're asking to sit around the table and discuss the issue.
Look, Mariska, how were these now received by Eskom? And is there any indication that these will be properly considered?
What NERSA told us is they take absolutely everyone's views into consideration. They say it sounds like it's a fine balancing act between what must happen and what can happen. So yes, they're taking all these views into consideration. And when we spoke to Eskom, they actually said it doesn't seem like there's many credible alternatives that any of the stakeholders put forward. And they actually say they're going to leave it up to NERSA to make this decision, because they say they do need this increase to keep the lights on.
Look, we understand that the Right to Know campaign protested outside the venue. What can you tell us about that protest?
Yes, it was a small group of protesters from the Right to Know campaign. They, of course, asking that Eskom invest more in more affordable alternative energy sources. And they say that Eskom must manage his business better, and the consumer mustn't always be the one to pay the bills. And they want Eskom to run or clean their house up and run business better.
Right.
And they say they will be protesting at every NERSA hearing in the country.
Look, Mariska, another thing that came out there was that Eskom's reasons for the tariff hike, we understand that it's part of a plan to recover some missing millions.
Yes, that's what they say. They've expressed concern over the long-term effects and their ability to meet its financial commitments if the tariff increase is not approved. And they're not applying for a tariff increase to make up for lost revenue due to load shedding. They say the bigger concern is from a financial perspective and the impact that it would have in terms of regulatory certainty and credibility associated with longer-term views that investors would have on Eskom.
All right, very quickly before I let you go, Mariska, now the process after the hearings, how will it play out? When will the people actually know if there will be an increase on the tariffs?
Well, from what we heard this afternoon, they're rounding up the hearings by the 6th of February, and the decision is expected later in February. What we heard is the 24th of February, a decision could be made already, and then, of course, the implementation will happen from the 1st of April.
Thank you so much for that. That is Mariska Botha, live to us from Cape Town at the public hearings into the tariff increase application by power utility Eskom.